Hi, I'm Niall. And welcome to this video on sine, cosine and tan. These are three terms that we use to explain how the sides of a right angle triangle are related to one another. Okay, so we have a right angle triangle and then we have an angle A within that triangle. In this video, I'm going to explain these three terms, sine, cos and tan. In the next video, I'm going to look at two special triangles and how sine, cos and tan explain the angles in those triangles. And in the third video, I'm going to look at sine, cos and tan and see how they can help us to solve problems in right-angled triangles. So these three terms, sine, cos and tan, are called the trigonometric ratios. So you know that if I give you a ratio x is to y, at 1 is to 2. Well then, if we double x, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have to double y. Okay, so we now have 2 is to 4. And that's exactly what sine, cos and tan do. They tell us how the sides of the triangle relate to one another for a given angle. So before we start, we need to label the sides of the triangle. Okay, so we look first at this side that is across from the right angle. Okay, and we call that side the hypotenuse. You might be familiar with that from the last video on Pythagoras' theorem. So the side across from the right angle is called the hypotenuse. And then we look at our angle A and we say which is the angle the side opposite that angle. And we call that side the opposite side. Okay, and then we look at the side beside the angle and we call that the adjacent side. So now we have labeled our three sides, the hypotenuse, the opposite, and the adjacent. Now I'm going to give you a way to remember how these sides relate to sine, cos, and tan. And this is called SOHCAHTOA. And there's a bit of a rap in here. You can go SOHCAHTOA, 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 SOHCAHTOA. Now, I know I'm a terrible singer, but I hope this will help you to remember that we have the so, the S stands for sine. And we look at what is the sine of A, okay? Well, if we very quickly draw our triangle again, and we have the hypotenuse across from the right angle, with the opposite side and the adjacent side. And the sine of A is the O for opposite. So we're looking at the O of the so. So O for opposite. And the H is for the hypotenuse. Okay? So the sine of A, sine of angle A in our triangle, is opposite over hypotenuse. What about the cos of A or the cosine of A? Well, this is the ca part. Okay? C stands for cos. And we'll draw up our triangle real quickly again. Okay? We have our angle A. The across from the right angle is the hypotenuse, the opposite side, and the adjacent side. Okay, so the ca then is the cosine is equal to A for adjacent side and H for the hypotenuse. So the cosine of A or the cos of A is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then the last piece of our wrap is the TOA, and the T is for tan. So again, our triangle, our right angle, we have our hypotenuse across from the right angle, and then opposite side and adjacent side. And then the tan of A is the O for opposite, and the A is for adjacent. So the tan of A is the opposite over adjacent. So that's sine, cos, and tan, or how we're going to remember it is SOHCAHTOA. S for sine, C for cos, and T for tan. Click the link in the comments for a short worksheet with solutions. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. Connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. See you the next time.